there, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angie and I'm a chemist who loves makeup. As I mentioned, I am trying to review products on here that I have been loving lately that I don't think a lot of people have been talking about, so I want to share it with you. If you are new to my review videos, the way this is going to work, we're first going to talk about the basics of the product. We're going to give the price, where you can buy, all that jazz. Next, we're going to talk about my review of the product, what I think of it, how it works. Thirdly, we'll get into the ingredients of the products, and finally we will end on the packaging, where I will discuss aspects on the packaging based on my background with manufacturing of consumer products. We're talking about a sunscreen today. This is from the brand Versed. I had not heard of this brand before. They offered to send me some products, and this is the product that I've been using the most, and that is their Guards Up Daily Mineral Sunscreen. This sunscreen has an SPF of 35, it's broad spectrum, it uses zinc oxide at a concentration of 15.2%, and you can purchase it at Target, on Amazon, and from Versed directly. It does have a peachy hue to it, but it's not a tinted sunscreen. The intention behind that peachy hue was to help it blend in better with the skin. I know a lot of times for inorganic sunscreen, those with titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, on darker skin, it usually does leave a white cast, which is not very flattering. So that's why they added this peachy tone to it. So it's supposed to help neutralize that white cast. And for me, the color isn't overwhelming. Again, I have very light skin, so I might not be the best person to speak on that, but I will show you where it's on one side of my face and on the other side I don't have it on, just so you can see how it looks on me. Texture wise, it definitely has a more fluid texture to it. It's not moisturizing though, so don't think that it's gonna act like a moisturizer, but it is a very comfortable wearing sunscreen because it isn't too thick, even with using the 2-finger rule to apply the sunscreen. I've worn it under makeup and it does work fine. If you do want to have more of a dewy look, you are going to have to use more moisturizer or extra hydrating products, because it is going to kind of mattify your skin a little bit. And we'll discuss the packaging at the very end, but for the review portion of this, I want to tell you one issue that I did have with the packaging. It does just have a cap on the bottom, and I do find it's kind of leaky, and that's my only gripe with the packaging. So I don't mind the tube packaging itself, but the cap does make the product a little messy. It's just a twist off cap, and the sunscreen does pull into the cap, and it's not overly messy, but it definitely doesn't keep it super clean. So hopefully in the future they can kind of upgrade that, maybe make it like a flip top, which would be a lot more user friendly. So for ingredients, so we're going to talk about the active ingredient. This is a sunscreen, and in the US, sunscreens are regulated under the over-the-counter drug category. As I said earlier, this has 15.2% zinc oxide, which is considered an inorganic sunscreen, or what people might think of as mineral sunscreens. It is called a non-nano zinc oxide, which is just related to the particle size. Next, you're going to have your solvents. These are going to be water, glycerin, and propanediol. These are going to be what the ingredients in this formula are going to dissolve into. Glycerin and propanediol are also going to be humectic, so they're going to help draw moisture to your skin, so that's why it's kind of more of a fluid formula. Next, you're going to have your rheology modifiers, and there's going to be 3 categories of these. You're going to have your film formers, which are going to be things like your copolymers. That's what's going to help it be more long wearing on your skin to give you that continued protection throughout the day. There's also going to be thickeners like xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is going to be what's going to give this some more consistency to it. And the last category of these rheology modifiers are your dispersing agents. These are going to be the ingredients that are going to help disperse the pigments as well as the active ingredient throughout the formula, so that way you get a consistent concentration throughout the product. These dispersing agents are really important because you want to make sure that not only the colorant, but also that the active ingredient, the zinc oxide, is dispersed evenly throughout the entire batch of the product and in the bottle. You don't want the top of your bottle to have more sunscreen than the bottom of your bottle, for instance. And this actually is something that they have to test for each batch, is that it does have the labeled amount of zinc oxide, I believe within 10%. And lastly, of course, is the preservatives. The only one that I'm super familiar with is caprylyl glycol. That is a common preservative, and these are important because you do have water in this formula. Anything that has water in it is going to be prone to microbial growth. Luckily, the packaging of this product isn't super susceptible to touching or anything like that to where the user would introduce this bacteria, but just opening it and exposing it to the air can introduce it. So it is important to have these preservatives. And because this is a drug product, you also have to test the product to show that it can be free of microbial growth all the way up to at least the expiration date. That is another requirement. So packaging. So this product is a tube. It actually gets filled from the top. If you saw my last review video, this was the same kind of packaging that we had talked about in that video. It is an open tube. It is filled from the top. A machine crimps the top of it using heat, and then it is sealed. This one has a good design. It has the lot number and expiration date on that little crimped area. This is good because then over time it won't fade. So if something were to happen with your product and you had to report it to Versed, the brand, they would be able to identify the batch that it came from, and you'll also know when the product expires. One other issue I have with this packaging is that the drug facts are only on the box. It would be nice if they were on the tube of sunscreen itself. That's one thing I like to see, because a lot of times we don't keep the box, and I think it's important to have those drug facts easily accessible. Overall, I really like this sunscreen. This is one that I'm going to continue to keep using, and I actually need to get more of it because I'm almost out of my bottle. If you want to purchase it, I will leave the links down below. Those are affiliate links, so if you do choose to click those and purchase the product, I will receive a commission. Before I let you go, if you learned something today, make sure you click the subscribe button so that way you will always know when there's a new video teaching you about the science behind makeup and skincare. And with that, I'm going to leave you for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.